So we'll be talking about intro to web security. Now, it's actually very, very vital to know that um, web security, make it big. All right, good. It's very vital to know that web security is a critical aspect of protecting anything that has to do with anything that is like that has to do with being online, the online systems, the application, the data from various threats. Yeah, we all know the CIA triad now. So anything that can compromise that our CIA triad. CIA triad, in case you've forgotten, is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. That's like, let me say, I don't want to say like three cornerstones, very, very key cornerstones. So anything that is going to be anything that is going to compromise those three things I mentioned, our CIA triad, then we have to actually protect our stuff against such threats. Yeah. So now we already know that the internet has become an integral part of business operations and even personal interactions. So there is actually need to safeguard sensitive information from malicious attack. Hence the topic introduction to web security. Now let me digress a bit. I want to explain why we've chosen this particular domain, because that's what we are going to be doing till the very end of this program. Now, it's chosen because out of the different aspects of cybersecurity, this one is actually more relatable. Relatable in the sense that upon starting up, you can always engage yourself in different kind of activities. Yeah, aside CTS, you can always get like gigs to make money. You can always participate in bug bounty, be it mobile app or web application. The knowledge of web application penetration testing can help you even in mobile app penetration testing. Yes, and even if you develop your skills further, you discover that other areas of cybersecurity is actually being touched. So this WAPT, web application penetration testing, or web security in short, is actually a very, very vital area, and it's something that if you fortify yourself 100%, trust me, if you fortify yourself 100% in this aspect, trust me, you'll be a very, 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 very big, invaluable tool out there. Yeah, please, once again, Christiana, please confirm if you can see like the screen. It is enough.
Yes, I can see your screen. It's still at Introduction to Web Security.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. So now, what are we going to be doing this intro section? Or what is web security all about? I already said it before that we are talking about when it comes to defending website, web application, even online services from, or just defending them. But please take note of it. Take note of it. This particular course or this particular program will be, I want you to understand something. Yes, we are saying defend, but our way of defending, that's this particular course, our way of defending is actually to perform the offense that we are going to attack, so that you will understand how you understand the security posture, you understand how the attackers will come in, if at all they are going to come in. Okay, so don't like get your mind fixed on the fact that okay, we said defend, so we are basically going to be defending, just waiting for attacks to come in. The way to learn it is by you learn how to attack it, how to attack like web applications. By the time you yes, correct, yes, the best form of defending is actually to attack. So by the time you learn how the attack is being carried out, you understand the mechanism behind it. So you now know how to properly defend against it. You get, so that's basically what we are doing. And the key concept, we're going to be talking about include like various web vulnerabilities. We'll talk about them, not just a couple of them, since this is just an intro course, and we'll just like we are going to like I'm going to like give like a tip of an iceberg of it. So even we'll talk about the various protocols that we have. It's expected that we should know the protocols that web applications use. I don't want to ask the question so that there will not be like any break in transmission. HTTPS, right? Okay, in case you don't know, yeah, secure protocols like HTTPS, whereby SSL and TLS are used to encrypt data transmitted between the client and the server. Aside that, we'll talk about we should. When I mean we should talk about, I'm not talking about, it's not necessarily in today's course. Subsequent classes, authentication, authorization. You must have heard of MFA, that's multi-factor authentication. Talk about that. We'll talk about input validation and sanitization. Yes, because so many popular vulnerabilities that we know, take for example, actually being executed, or not even SQL, sorry, not SQL, XSS, that's cross-site scripting. They're actually being executed because of what the codes are not like, they are not the code, the inputs is not being sanitized. Just understand it like normal meaning of sanitize, to like clean something or wash something. Just understand it that way. As I said, I'll talk about like various security areas, talk about like different real world scenarios of how this stuff has happened, and we'll look at the tools that we use for web security. So let's move to the next slide. So the background. Now we are going to be using OWASP. Like OWASP is like a project. I don't want to use the word framework. It's like a project. Stands for, like you can see on the screen, Open Web Application Security Project. Yeah. Let's leave the story behind it. You can read up the story behind it if you want to. But the most important thing of this OWASP is to make software security visible, so that what even different individuals, me, you, anybody, even organizations can make informed decisions about security risk. It's not going to be that, okay, MTN is practicing. Oops, didn't change. Sorry, is the screen at? Sorry, let me just make it. Let me do it the way I'm at this second one. Can you see? Please, can you see quick OWASP background? Okay, thank you. Now, like I said, it shouldn't be that, okay, it shouldn't be that MTN is practicing one kind of security posture or policy, Glow is doing something else. Then Bank of America is now doing something entirely different. You know, if everybody is doing different things, then some will be always, everybody is susceptible to attacks here, but some will be very, 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 very extremely vulnerable. Almost every 2 days or almost every 3 days, they'll be suffering attacks. So there is actually need for visibility of security policies, right? Please, I need you to pay attention very well to what I'm saying, because at the end of this class, I'm going to like ask questions. At the point, I was thinking of conducting another test based on the material I'm going to send to you tomorrow, because the material will be very, very voluminous. Not like voluminous, anyways. Not like 60-something page slide. Yeah, I need you to consume the content very well, because if you do that before you come for the next class, it's just like you're coming to the next class whereby you're no longer a newbie when it comes to web security. You already know the fundamentals. So when I want to jump on it, I'm jumping straight to the real deal. I won't start to explain the meaning of XSS or SQL or CSRF and likes of that. But still, that notwithstanding, I just hope you are going to like read it properly. All right. So still, you should know the essence of OWASP now. Like what I'm trying to explain. Looking at what I wrote here, OWASP actually publishes comprehensive guides and resources to help the developers and security professionals understand and mitigate common web security vulnerabilities. In short, it's not like a secret. It's not a secret. Take for example, now you build a house. Now there is a guideline that says when you enter inside, lock your gate. No, okay. The first guideline is, please, everybody have a fence. Then there should be a gate there. That gate should be made of iron steel. The moment your car drives past the gate, lock that gate. Lock it 2 times. 1, 2. The moment you enter inside your house, lock the door 2 times. No, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. The moment you want to go to bed, put off all the lights in the house, but leave the security lights on. Now, do you get all those kind of steps? There is like a OWASP, when you just convert it or relate it to security aspect, OWASP now, they are the one that normally publish this kind of policies that, okay, this is what you are going to do. This is what you are meant to do. If you are running an organization, you want to be security conscious. This is what you are meant to do. It's not the one that, okay, maybe MIT will be like, okay, MIT will be like, when you enter your room, lock this thing 5 times. When you go to this place, um, put on the security lights in this place, then don't put it on in this place. I want you to understand, like, what they do is to make everything open, let everybody see what we are doing. Do you understand? So moving on to the next slide, we have various there's something they call OWASP top 10. What OWASP top 10 means that over the years they've been checking sites. Sites have been vulnerable, but there are some particular vulnerabilities that they normally they occur like frequently. They occur frequently. There's no way you're going to test the sites now. No, I don't mean you must always see, but there's every high chance or very high chance that you're going to see any of these vulnerabilities. Now look at compare 2017 and compare 2021. 2017, we have injection, broken authentication, sensitive data exposure. You can see everything here. No need for me to read everything. Now, look at 2021. We have some new guys that were added to it. Software and data integrity failures, insecure design, server-side request forgery. That is to say, all these things like you're seeing here, they're actually vulnerabilities. We'll touch some of them during the course of this class. These guys that you're seeing here, they're actually vulnerabilities. But then, there are a lot of vulnerabilities out there. But then, OWASP has singled out 10 that, let's even assume you don't want to test for others. You see these 10, you must test for them. There's every high tendency that your website, your web application, or mobile app can be vulnerable to this. All right, let's continue. Moving on to the next one. Or before we move on to the next one, let's talk about what all these things are one after the other. Let's talk about what they are one after the other. You can see it on the screen here. Broken access control. What is broken access control? So please just go through it one after, like looking at it one after the other. I'm not going to explain it in details. I'll just explain it briefly, just briefly. Now, broken access control actually occurs when users can access data or aside data or different functionalities. Yeah, that under normal condition, normally you should not be able to access due to, let me say, restrictions on what authenticated users can do. You get? Let me give you a simple example. Say Christiana now. Christiana logs into, no, she's never meant to log into my account. Okay, Christiana logs into her Facebook account. Then ordinarily, yeah, she's actually she should be able to see my Facebook profile. That's if I have. She should be able to see my Facebook profile, right? But can she delete my profile picture? No, she cannot. But imagine a scenario whereby Christiana can view my Facebook profile and can delete my profile picture. So the point is that when somebody can do what is not meant to do, it's actually called broken access control. It's a vulnerability. People exploit that. Attackers exploit that. Yeah, to perform or to elevate their privileges. Next one, cryptographic failures. We've already done cryptography. So this guy is also known as, let me see where they traced it to. There's a name they call it before. Cryptography. Exactly. sensitive sensitive data exposure. So they changed the name to cryptographic failures. So they are like almost the same thing. Alternative name cryptographic failures. So what does it mean? It's simple, just the way you understand cryptography. When the encryption is actually not adequate, or the key is not actually, just like you're using a poor key, or the encryption is not adequate, it's not okay, it's not enough. Yeah, I don't want to start talking about hashing of passwords and the likes of that, but just know that it can be linked to that area. You understand it when I was explaining it then about passwords. Normally you put your normal password into a system, but in the database is being hashed and the likes of that. So the prayers in which the keys that are being used are not like strong enough, or the encryption policies are not actually okay. Then we're talking about cryptographic failures. Now next is what injection. When you talk about injection, you know the normal meaning of injection now, to use syringe and to inject something into somebody. Same thing applies to web application. In a situation whereby you can inject something, example SQL. Yeah. So attacks like SQL injection occur when untrusted data is sent to an interpreter, leading to unauthorized commands or data leaks. And this thing happens majorly when there is what? When the input is not properly sanitized. You get. So just understand it that injection, when you are putting in, like, might not necessarily be queries all the time, but you are putting in uh, data that is not trusted. It's going to carry out what's not meant to carry out. And we know that most of the time, not most of the time, sometimes databases are always written in languages like I think MongoDB or SQL, likes of that. So the next one is what's the next one? Insecure design. Generally, just know that the way the architecture of the program or the application or the design yes. Let me give you one simple example. Take for example now, you build an application. Okay, like those in quote one, when they were presenting they worked on something, they were presenting it. Now, one of the teams, yes, Team Bravo, they presented something and they implemented MFA, multi-factor authentication. That's a very smart move. Now, imagine MFA was not implemented. The design is already not like properly secure. So we can actually call something like that insecure design. Next, security misconfiguration. Next, vulnerable and outdated components. These are already stuff that are self-explanatory. So now next is identification and authentication failures. So basically it talks about like data tampering, like the unauthorized code modification. So basically that's what they're talking about here. Anything that has to do with that. And if you look at this thing very well, in the CIA triad, the one that is affecting very well is integrity. That's what this one is majorly about. Okay, same goes to software and data integrity failures. Sorry, what did I just explain? Sorry, let me explain this identification and authentication failures again. I think I kind of like my eye was looking at this software and data integrity failure. Okay, the first one is this one is identification and authentication failures. Okay, majorly is about from this authentication we're doing about like passwords, where we have like all these weak password policies. Take for example, you have a website. The website can allow you to create password like BONIFACE111. But if it's 111, it doesn't make any sense. There should be special characters. There should be number of lengths, minimum and maximum number of lengths. There should be, so when there are weak password policies, it's under this vulnerability. You don't need your machine or your tool to tell you that hello, this is this thing. Hello, there is this kind of stuff there. You are the one that are actually going to figure it out yourself. Now, after this, please, I think at the point I will talk about the various tools that we use, in web security. But it's essential to know that the tools sometimes don't tell us some vulnerabilities. We have to look out for those vulnerabilities manually. So we have security login, then we have server-side request forgery, which I'm going to explain properly shortly. Moving on to the next. Oh, we've already talked about all these things. Now to the next. What we are going to cover during the course of this thing. These are the things we're going to cover, so you can just check them out. So cross-site scripting. Before we move to cross-site scripting, let's talk about some tools that we use, like various tools that we use during this thing. So I'll show you my prop suit. I'm just going to explain it in. I'll explain it in like in a nutshell. It's not like I'll explain it properly. So one very important tool is your prop, or you can call it prop suit. If you check your Kali, it is there. So this is my prop suit. A particular class will be devoted to this. I mean, so you can see this is prop suit. I'll just explain something shortly. What is it used for? It has a proxy. I know what proxy means, like a fake man. Yeah, like it has a proxy whereby, let's say I want to send a message to, let me say illegal is the server, illegal server. I want to send, sorry, let me use Irenaeus. Irenaeus is the server, so Irenaeus server. I want to send message to Irenaeus server. This is me, I am the client. Irenaeus server is the server, obviously. So now, Irenaeus is somebody in this class, so don't think it's one strange name. I just picked the name. So now, the idea of proxy is just like somebody is now standing in between. Say Akitunde. Akitunde is now standing in between. Akitunde is now acting as an intermediary between me and the server. Let me give you a typical example here. I'll go to my prop. I'll open the browser. As my browser open, why is it taking time? So just give me like a few minutes. Let me open browser. Um, okay, it's bringing an error. I don't even know if you can see this error. It's bringing an error. Okay. Apologies for that. Apologies for the delay, please. I'll try to open it again. I just want to like explain like in more practical sense what I said. I would have to close it and open it again. Please. Sorry about that. All right. So while that one is loading in the background, we have various tools. We have we have Bob. You can see Bob in your card. It's already pre-installed for. It's a very powerful tool. Very, very powerful. You see, one class we're going to be dedicated to it alone. Imagine when we are using one class to just teach how to use Bob. Aside Bob, we have Zap. The name is funny. Bob is called Bob Suit. We have Zap. Zap is called OWASP Zap. I think Z Attack Proxy is the full meaning. It's OWASP. They were the one that developed that tool so that we can use it to attack. We can use it to simulate attack. Sorry, I don't want to use the word attack. Let me use the word to simulate attack. All right. Let me open the browser now. It has loaded again. I think there's a problem with my. I think there's a problem with my Bob. The browser is not open. It's not opening. So I'm going to leave that alone, but still, let me show you what I mean. No. Still, I am not sharing my screen at the moment. Oh, bravo! That's opened eventually. Thank God. That's not open though. A particular file is missing. Going to load extension. You can imagine. Oh, it has opened. Now, see something. You can see my screen, right? You can see intercept is off. Look at the example I gave now. Let's quickly run through the example again. Okay, I don't know. I like using Christiana as example because she's a female figure, so you can always like relate more. So let's say, now as a guy, I want to send this to a girl. Probably it's like love related, or let me say I'm like chiking her. You get? I'm trying to explain it in this way so that we understand it properly. So let's say I'm chiking her, yeah. So I'm not trying to send like a message to her. But imagine now, holiness. Let's say Christiana is going to receive the message, but Christiana is like the server. So Christiana server. But if I'm the one sending the message to her, so I'm like the client. So I am the client, she's the server. Basically, that's what happens when you are communicating. When anything you are doing whatsoever on the web is basically between client and server. Even if you are using VPN, just that the routing process is now longer, but still, it's basically, if you want to bring it down to the basic, is what is client and server. You send a message to this thing. Sometimes some of you think when you get response from the server, that's the only communication, like to and fro. No, sometimes it must have gone to, then another one, then the server replies you, then another one is sent, then the server replies you, then another one is sent, then the final reply. But all those things happen in seconds that you are not going to even know. If you followed those, is it networking? Which assignment? It should be network security. If you follow that network security very well, you discover that there are some challenges that we did. If you are observing the packet in that mmap, is it mmap? Sorry, Wireshark. If you are observing the packet, you discover that a particular IP is sending multiple like ping or ICMP packets to a server. Sometimes that's how the information actually happens. They send like multiple. Server is going to reply. It could be one, it could be multiple. Then stuff like that. You get. So now, imagine a scenario where I'm sending a message to Christiana, but Holiness is the proxy. Holiness is the one acting as the middleman. Yes, I got it, your boys. He's acting like the middleman in between myself and Christiana, right? So I can send a message like "I love you," and remember, Holiness is serving as the middleman, right? Holiness can as well change that "I love you" to "I hate you." I'm just trying to explain the basic thing. That's how you're going to understand what proxy mean or what whatever it is we are doing here. or this usage of this tool, one switch usage of this tool, there are a lot of things, a lot of capabilities. Yeah. So let's do something similar to that. So now the first thing I'm going to do is just put on my intercept. Look at it. Intercept is on. I will on it. It's off. Original. Now it's on, right? It's on. It's on. So now I would go to my. Let me try to share the full screen. You may want to call it man in the middle attack, but yeah, okay. Let me explain man in the middle. See, man in the middle attack, MITM. Don't see a particular attack as this is the name of this attack. Some attacks are actually accumulation of different techniques. So man in the middle attack is like a technique. It's not necessarily like an attack the way people normally see it. It's like a technique, like a posture or the way you did something. You get? If I want to hack a particular website, I can't just use one technique. I'm going to use combinations of various techniques, whereby man in the middle can be one of them, obfuscation can be one of them, and the likes of that. So now I've already the intercept is on. That is the guy, that holiness that is going to be in the middle. Holiness is going to like is ready to what change whatever it is I have done. So let me go to this app. Yeah, this is my browser. This is a browser that is actually integrated into this is a browser that is integrated into this thing. It's taking time for the browser to go. Sorry, 1 minute, please. So, funny. I can see your message. Okay. Let's see. Let me just type for. Okay, the president is Tinubu. Let's type for. Let's type for Tinubu. Tinubu. Remember, the intercept is on, so it's not going to go. It's not going to go. Now, can you see? Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that the browser is loading? It's not going. What it means is that it has been stopped along the line. I'm just trying to explain, like give a basic explanation of what this tool is. It has been stopped along the line, right? Now, what has Chrome done? Under this place, proxy, intercept is on. You can see this is the request that's going to be sent to the server. This is a request that's going to be sent to the server. There are various information about it. I don't want to start going through everything one after the other, but there are various information about a particular. No, the moment I press enter, that enter is sending a packet, and that packet has a lot of information. Let's start from here. Request to HTTPS, you already know this. 443, you already know this. This is the port number that I'm using, which you already know for HTTPS. You already know. Then this is a Google server. Then this is a GET request. You already know this. Then this is a query. So let's manipulate this. Let's change this to Boniface. So the query now is Boniface. You can see Tinubu, right? Tinubu. Change to Boniface. Under additional query, change this Tinubu to Boniface. You can see. So now I'm going to forward this request. I'll forward it. I'm going to forward this request now. Look at me. Just looking at the screen. The moment let me make this thing smaller. So you see the effect on this browser here. See that this guy is still loading eternally. It's not going right. It's still loading. So now I'll now forward this request. So make this thing bigger. So I forward it. You see here. Mind you, on this noble, but let's see what will happen. But anything goes eventually. It's not bad. Now, this information is bringing information about Boniface. Victor Boniface is a footballer. Can you see? He's bringing. But what did we put here? Sustainable that we put here. So now my point now is that this tool can be used for vast majority of things. I just explained one very sweet and important feature, but then there are still a lot of features there. A class will be devoted to this or dedicated to this. We're going to break it down properly. So let's proceed. There's another tool they call what? Zap. That's on the Kali. Oh, I won't be opening. Okay. Follow me. Aside Zap, OWASP Zap, we also have Nmap is also one of the tools which I'm sure majority of us were already familiar with it. Nmap. There's Buster, there is GoBuster. We'll deal with all those ones one after the other. Don't just be too confused. I'll be like, what's this guy even saying? So I can close this browser. While we wait for the second tool. So this tool, I'll just like give you like a brief information about it. And by the time I'm done with that, we proceed to the various things that we have. That's the various vulnerabilities that we're going to check out. It's taking time. So while it's taking time, just mind you, we have Buster, we have GoBuster. You can always check it out online. Check your maybe YouTube or whatever platform. Check how to use it. Check these ones I mentioned, they are pre-installed. Are they pre-installed? This GoBuster pre-installed. One of them come. No, yes, I think they are pre-installed in your Kali. You don't even need to install it. But I think Zap, you need to install Zap or Ask Zap. But you see, Bob Suits, you don't need to install it. It's already there. You can just use it immediately. So you can use it immediately. Yes, Zap has opened. But it has not opened still. It's just loading up. It's taking time, yeah. It has a lot of tools or features. Yes, features. And remember what I said about it. So developed by these OWASP guys. OWASP. So yeah, you can see. So I'll just explain just like I did in the other one. One sweet feature. I'll explain one sweet feature about this one. Then we are good. Just a very sweet feature about it. Then we are good. Now let me bring one site out. It's called, what's the name of this site? Test PHP. It's a vulnerable site. Yeah, it's a vulnerable site. Good. So we have this. Okay, let's close this one. Now, this is the vulnerable site. Just leave this site here. So we'll go here. This is just one feature. We deal with the feature, then we are good. We go away from here. Then we'll continue what we have for today. So let's just say we want to perform like an automated scan. So quick one, quick one. You can see all I need to do is input the URL here. Then I would check the necessary things. Then I would attack. Then what I attack is going to now just take a look at everything here. Just brief explanation about this. A class will be devoted to explaining this tool and how to use it properly. The one thing that makes you a very bad boy is when you know how to use tools a lot. So now this is the history, this is the search, this is the alert. You know what alert does, yeah? Alert is for like to tell you the vulnerability or the various things that it has seen. The various things that it has seen. So now it has already done like let me see some kind of miniature spidering. Like spider means like what spider does now, they crawl. Now this is like I don't want to start explaining all these things step by step, but the bottom line is that it's actually scanning the website. It's scanning the website using like some directories that are very, very common. You get? So it's scanning the website for various kind of vulnerabilities or whatever it is that it can do. This what I'm doing now is what they call automated scanning. What I'm doing is what they call automated scanning. Yeah. So by the time it finishes with that, under this alert section, it's going to bring out information about the site. Talk about some high priority vulnerabilities, medium scale priority vulnerabilities, low priority vulnerabilities, and the likes of that. So I just want to wait till it gets to 100. Then I would show you it brings out the result. Then I would show you what it looks like. Then we move on to the next. We'll just talk about 2 vulnerabilities. Then we are good. It's just like an intro class about web security. It's a very, very, very interesting and it could be intimidating at the same time. Now you can see the alert section. You can see there are different alerts. You can see absence of anti-CSRF tokens. What's inside that one tells you? It means that CSRF can actually be carried out. I know we might not really know what CSRF is. CSRF means cross-site request forgery, the kind of vulnerability. We'll talk about it also. So and the likes of that. So there are a lot of like information about it. You get there are a lot of information about it. This one is even just said information disclosure, suspicious comments. So there are a lot of information about it. So if you want to go after them one after the other, you can. And this guy can also generate reports. So let's leave it. Let's leave it. So let's go back to our boring slide. Cross-site scripting. Cross-site scripting. It's one of the attacks, very popular one. Mind you, I'm just going to explain it in a very simple way. Yeah, I'll explain it in a very simple way, so you should know what I'm talking about. You should have an idea of what I'm talking about. So, what is cross-site scripting? In a very simple way, is a situation whereby you can run scripts on a site. Normally, you're not meant to run scripts on the site. You know what script is now? Like a program. A program is something that tells the computer to do something. So imagine whereby a website, you can run programs on the website. No. Websites will actually permit what's meant to permit. Say it's meant to permit like file upload, fine. Meant to permit like picture upload, fine. Music upload, fine. Text, fine. Comments, fine. But the moment you're now running a program, that's bad. That's a vulnerability because you can as well run a program that will tell you, fetch all the information that you have in your database, and it's going to fetch it. It doesn't make any meaning. So that is cross-site scripting for you. So you can actually run this. So look at the explanation I give you. Malicious code that can change the look and function of a legitimate web application program. Let's look at the picture that we have here. Say you have this is a server, this is a client. So the client ordinarily runs this program to the server, sends the information to the database. Then the database in turn gives back. If it gives back, look at this. This is like a script. The script is bringing like an alert script. Is bringing what it's going to tell it to say one. It's going to tell it to say one. So you send it to the server. Normally, it's meant to sanitize this thing and not read this program. But the moment it sends to the server, sends to the database now in turn reads the program and give you the result of the program. That thing is wrong. You don't do like it's not meant to be implemented. Do you get? The moment that thing is implemented, that is a vulnerability. That's the simplest way of explaining cross-site scripting for you. Let's look at a practical example. Now I wrote a simple web page. So I tried running that stuff there, but I don't know, it didn't really work. It didn't really work. Probably I didn't do stuff very well. Let's just change this thing to Boniface exercise demonstration. So this is a simple web page I wrote. Then upon coming here, I loaded the web page. No, I need to put my name there. Let's say Boniface. So I come here and load. So ordinarily, this is a web page, right? This is just a web page. This is a web page. Now, let's say normally I put please everybody watch this. This is like you want like if I put anything here, let me say 5 plus let's say 5. Like a query. There's a way to explain this thing for you very well. This this where you put your URL. Those URL they actually have their breakdowns. Like HTTPS, we know it's a protocol, right? www, you know what it is, right? Then the website, right? Then the slash. Then if there's a Q there, it means something. The breakdown of them means something. So the moment I put this F there, this 5 and I press submit, you can see this is actually the website. Then the input is equal to 5. It's telling you that the input is equal to 5. It's just giving us the input, right? Now let's say I can go and copy. I just write a script. I write a script. Yeah, a basic, very simple script is look at this thing. If you code HTML, you know what I'm talking about. Alert 1. And I'm going to close the script. It didn't work. Oh, it didn't work. Ordinarily, this thing is actually meant to do like my expectation is that it's going to carry out this it's going to carry out this sorry, I didn't even put this thing there. I meant to quote it. So the expectation is that it's going to execute this script, this program. It's going to execute the program. By executing it, what this thing is meant to bring us is to vomit an alert to say one. Just like interrupts now. Interrupts in your computer. When you are doing something, one prompt will just come out. So by submit it, but you mean it's not doing anything. Now let's check it out. Let's check it out on this place. Let's check it out on this site. We've not tested this site. We don't know the one that is vulnerable to this thing. But let's look at this search. You know, this is a search this thing now. We can search for anything now. This is a website, right? We can search for anything now. So let's input that stuff again. Scripts. This is like a program, very short program. Script alerts. Let's type Boniface is a goat. Let's use capital letter. Then we close it. Then we close the bracket. Then we are going to now close the. We are going to close the. We are going to close the. What am I saying? The script. You get. To close the script. So let's close it. We put our closing this thing and write script. If you know HTML very well, nobody's saying you go and cram HTML. But if you know HTML very well, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay, then I calm down. So let me copy this stuff. Okay, see. Then I go. Can you see? Can you see? Please, I need everyone's attention here, please. I need everyone's attention here. You can see that this website basically prompted, it ran the program. This website ran the program and it gave me the results of the program. That doesn't add up. That is not meant to be. Do you get? It's not meant to run a program and bring it. Please, I need everyone's attention here. I don't know if you should be able to see my screen properly. If you don't understand HTML, you can always copy codes from somewhere now. Although you see that you're already sounding unprofessional like that. You're like a script kiddie. You know what script kid is? What's those script kids like? They copy stuff from this thing. So let's check out this stuff again. Let's go back. I don't know why this thing didn't work on my. I'll tell you how you can recognize it. That's when we are talking about XSS. I'll tell you how you can recognize this thing. Let me again. I don't know why it didn't go. See, it's not working on this site I created, but it's fine. Let's close it. I am on that website now, that test.php website. Let me see if that was that was broadcasting. So let's move to the next. That's basic explanation for XSS. I'll still explain it again for the sake of those that don't understand. So let's move to the next one. The next one is cross-site request forgery. Cross-site, that's CSRF. From the picture, you can actually tell what I'm explaining. Now let's look at the picture and talk about it. Although, let me give you one expo. Lately, you barely see sites that, like, you can see you, but it's not like it will not be on the login page or the no. It will not be on the login page that okay, this site is vulnerable to no. People are not stupid. Designers design better things these days. So you have to be smarter. You're gonna get vulnerabilities. You need to be like very, very smart. So what does it mean? Look at this picture. Let's start number one. Perpetrator forges a request for fund transfer. Perpetrator embeds the request into a hyperlink and sends it to visitors who may be logged in to the site, the visitor's website. A visitor clicks on the link, inadvertently sending requests to the website. Now the website will now validate the request and transfer funds from the visitor's account to the perpetrator's account. So basically, in a nutshell, what CSRF, what it does is like, let's break it down. Cross-site request, then forgery. Normally, I am meant to send the request, right? But imagine a situation where another person is now forging the request for me. You get? I did not say that I should transfer money to somebody, but there's a request that is not like being forged that I should transfer money to somebody. I did not send a message, but then the request is being forged. That's like cross-site means from one site to another. So even if you don't know the technical application, how to run it technically or practically, you can be able to break it down. If you break it down, you know the meaning of that stuff. Cross-site request forgery. So now, a CSRF attack forces a logged-on victim's browser to send a pre-authenticated request to a vulnerable web application, which then forces the victim's browser to perform a hostile action to the benefit of the attacker. A CSRF can be as powerful as a web application that is attacked. So the moment it's successful, the potency is just on the high side. I've explained how it works, but let's give like one scenario to make us understand it properly. So just imagine that you are logged into your online banking account, be it UBA or Zenith or whatever it is. So an attacker now sends you an email. You know, it's like maybe like all these Russian guys now, they'll send you email like, your this thing is going to expire, one thing like that. They'll send you an email. In that email, there's like a link there. Now, but that, you don't know where the link is leading you to. That's why I'm always scared. All these guys that I was going through the class participants, I was not saying bone. I was like, is it that I don't understand? Like, is that people already? Are you adding bones to your name? I think one is Mayowa bone. You see bone like bone of something. I'm like, what's going on? I reflected on that. I was not like, okay, maybe they are doing all this crypto something. I'm trying to bring one out now. I just hope you not change his name before I get it. Good. This is just one. One is Peter's something bone. Then there's a bone there. Then another one is I saw them. There were plenty. Okay, they are doing dogs. Yes, I'm going to that. I figured that out. So this one is Alex. Then there's a bone there. Now, my point is that it's not a bad idea. You can do this thing. If they say that they'll give you money, fine. If they give you money, come and give me small. And if you don't want to give me all the best. But the point is that my own point is that my problem I have with all these things is that they give you links. Quickly click on this link. It's going to expire tomorrow. Click on this. And you click gullibly. You don't know that a lot of this can actually happen just with link. So as cybersecurity like professionals, you should be very, very careful of links like that. You see some, they'll be like they are claiming. What are they doing? Is it airdrop? I know that people are doing it, people are making money, but you need to be very, very careful out there. Attackers can do any crazy thing. It means I can also like craft a link. I'll send it to you and I'll tell you that I'm doing dog or come and increase. I don't know whatever it is you are gathering. Just say come and gather your crypto, whatever it is. I'll send you the link. If you know what is there, it's simple. I think we've done something like that. I don't know if we've done something like that. Okay, we've not done something like that, but okay. The one we did, I sent the file to my PC locally. I should have uploaded that file on the internet. I'll now generate the link for that file. Probably I'll now use bit shortener to shorten that link. I'll now send it to one of you. Click on the link, download the file. No, I will set it in such a way that if you click on the link, it's going to download the file automatically to your system and it's going to run. So imagine you are this one. It's not that. So let's just continue with our explanation for this CSR. So let's say the attacker now sends you an email with a link to a page that includes a form to transfer money. If you just click the link while logged into your banking account, the form submission will transfer funds without your explicit consent. I would have just quickly created one tab. I don't know why. Maybe I just quickly create a site and it's not. I don't really work because basically it's simple to show or it's simple to exemplify. Or maybe when we are dealing with those vulnerabilities, we are going to treat it properly. So the next we should still be about CSRF. So this is an example, just like I explained before. You can go through the examples yourself. So yeah, tomorrow expect that material. I'll drop the material tomorrow. It's almost ready. you go through it. So I will just leave the floor open for question and answer while I stop recording and I stop sharing my screen. Thank you very much.